Okay, so our part 2 video is titled The Axis of Symmetry and the Vertex. How do we find those? So the first thing that we have to look at is all parabolas have what we call an axis of symmetry. Okay, if you were to fold the parabola along the axis of symmetry, if we were able to fold it in half, the portions of the parabola would be a mirror image of each other. So the way we find the axis of symmetry is by using this formula. If we know the equation is y is equal to a, x squared plus bx plus c, then the axis of symmetry is x is equal to negative b divided by 2 times a. Okay, so what we're going to start with is we've got example 1 and example 2. We're going to find the axis of symmetry for the following functions. So in example 1, we have x squared plus 6x plus 5. So we know we're going to start by writing down our formula. X equals negative b divided by 2 times a. In this case, we can see that, well, b lines up with 6. So we have x is equal to negative 6 divided by 2 times a. A is the coefficient of the x squared. So when there's no coefficient there, we can kind of assume, well, there's one x squared there. And so when we work this equation out, we have negative 6 divided by 2, and negative 6 divided by 2 would be negative 3. Now we're going to save onto that answer because on example 3 we're going to use that answer. On example 2, we have x squared plus 2x minus 8. Again, we're looking for ax squared plus bx plus c. We're going to use our formula negative b divided by 2 times a. In this case, b would be 2. So I've got negative of 2 divided by 2 times a. A is missing just like earlier, so that would be 2 times 1. So negative 2 divided by 2 would be x equals negative 1. So go ahead and save that. We're going to need that here in just a moment for example 4. Okay, so now that we have the axis of symmetry down, we're going to kind of advance to our vertex. Now the vertex is very easy to find. The vertex is where the axis of symmetry actually intersects the parabola. This is going to always be our highest point or lowest point. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the answer from the axis of symmetry, which was an x equals, and what you're going to do with that is you're going to substitute that into the actual formula to get your answer. Okay, so I took our answers from the previous slide. X equals negative 3 for x squared plus 6x plus 5. And again, that was our axis of symmetry answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the negative 3 and replace that for both of the x's. So we have negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 5. Negative 3 squared would be 9, 6 times negative 3 would be minus 18, and then we have plus 5. We continue to work that out, and we would get negative 4. So what that's going to tell us is this is our y value. X equals negative 3 was our x value. So our ordered pair answer for the vertex would be negative 3, negative 4. Now on example 4, it's a lot of the same thing. We've got our answer from the axis of symmetry, which was x equals negative 1. We take that, we substitute it for both of the x's here. And then we just work out the problem to find our y. So we'd have 1 minus 2 minus 8 more. That'll give us y is equal to negative 9. And what that's going to tell us is our x-coordinate was -1, our y-coordinate was -9. Okay, so now I'd like for you to go ahead and advance to finding the x and y intercepts.